Family Guy is no longer on Adult Swim, which just seems weird to me because let me tell you right now, I have not kept up with Family Guy in the last maybe 6 seasons. I've only watched and rewatched reruns, which air on Adult Swim. But apparently that is going to be no more. Family Guy is no longer on Adult Swim. Dom, do you want to take this story? I was going to say I usually talk too much to start these shows anyway. So, Dom, would you like to take this story and run with it?
It's definitely the kind of it's been the world's longest closing, and The Simpsons is really the one that's taken its sweet time closing of this book. But yeah, dude. Family Guy started on Fox, I believe, as it's kind of the edgy, TV entertainment insider show that was not afraid to, get a little on that line, and then they got canceled by that Fox, and then Adult Swim comes in like a shining horse, as the buttered up man said on that first episode on their net back. Welcome back. Glad to be back, America. Thank you. Something along those lines. And then they stayed about like 10 more seasons than they should have. I don't know. But the thing is, it is the closing of a chapter, because Family Guy, whether you love it or hate it now, whether you loved it or hate it then, it is a very important part of 2000s programming.
Yeah.
Of 2000s culture. And certainly, you could argue into the 2010s, at least the early parts as well, maybe. But absolutely a part of the 2000s, particularly in television, but you could even say wider culture, because we always go back to, what was it? It was Borat, something else, and then a Family Guy is definitely up there, right? Things we were always making references to. If, kids in the 90s, like actual 90s kids, not like born in 1994 like me, but true blue like 90s kids, for them it was The Simpsons. For us, I would think, I don't know, I want to speak on your guys' behalf, but for me it was definitely Family Guy. And I still hold by those first few seasons. I think they are pretty damn good. I think it was about when Mr. Weed died, the toy store, the toy factory owner, and all that stuff. And then, some transition after that. But it is kind of a closing. I hesitate to say changing of the guard, because there's a lot of guards have since taken that place in terms of programming stuff, like, Bob Burgers, Archer, anything that guy has voiced seems to have
Bob's Burger is coming out with a movie next year too. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
there's a Bob's Burgers movie.
I need to get on that train. I need to get on that Bob's Burgers train. I've seen a few episodes and I've liked them, but I've never actually been like,
I'm the same exact way. Any episode I see of Bob's Burgers, I'm like, damn, this is a really good show. I should watch it sometime. And I never do.
Not to deviate, but Bob's Burgers is like American Dad, in the sense that like the first 2 seasons, I feel like nobody watched it. People made fun of it. And then like I woke up one morning and everybody was a fan of it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like American Dad. It's kind of like American Dad. It's
American Dad
I went to bed, I woke up, and everybody likes it.
Yeah, American Dad's like straight up good, in my opinion. I don't know. I dropped off after 3 or 4 seasons, but those first seasons were great. Particularly when Family Guy was like getting down there, and I think it was like right before, a few years before the Cleveland show. I don't even know what that was about, but yeah, it was pretty good. And clearly Seth MacFarlane has long since outgrown that. We've all outgrown that. It's like a Simpsons scenario now, where it's kind of just there. It's making money for Seth MacFarlane and everyone there. It's a great pension plan, the Family Guy pension plan. And honestly, like, Seth MacFarlane has proven he is extremely talented. Like, he can make funny things like the Orville alone, but also like he's done tours doing like Sinatra covers with an orchestra. And it's like, yeah, you sound great. Like, you are legitimately a great American songbook pop star in that sense. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say Seth MacFarlane is just too goddamn talented to be alive, honestly. Yeah. Like, he can sing, he can write pretty good jokes, he can act pretty decently, he can voice act really damn good. And like he like, there's just so much talent in this guy, and he's a good looking guy too. I'm just like, Man, screw Seth MacFarlane. Why did God give him everything he needs to succeed?
As somebody who's listened to every Seth MacFarlane album, except the most recent one he did with Liz Gillies, which kind of references back to our Dan Schneider talk. I don't want to bring him up in this, but at the same time, he's super talented and he has made some very good things. Yeah. I stand by the original Ted movie. I stand by all his albums. The guy is super talented. And I feel like the less involved he's got with Family Guy,
the better.
The weaker, in some ways, the weaker the show has become.
Oh,
but for the betterment of him. But it's not kind of what we're talking about here in terms of Family Guy leaving Adult Swim.
Yeah, getting back to, I mean, the show itself is not ending, but it will be exclusively on Fox now, I believe, and maybe rerunning on like Netflix or something, you know, available on streaming services. I'm not 100% sure. But it is going to be, it's on Fox, for at least for the new episode. So that's going to be, and because Fox is owned by Disney, it's going to be a Disney property, which is funny because they've taken a lot of jabs at Disney, elongated for good measure. And I think that's great. Like Simpsons has done the same thing, where they are now owned by Disney. 100%, and they've taken so many jabs at the mouse. It's pretty good. So this is more of just kind of a, not lamenting, because I you know, this is, let's close the book on this. It's been long overdue, but just kind of feeling it and where we are on it.
Let me jump on that too. I mean, it's going to air now on FXX and Freeform in syndication. It's going to still be on Fox, the new episodes. The new episodes are going to air on your basic Fox affiliate. But as far as the reruns are concerned, they're going to air on FXX and Freeform. So it's going to belong to the same network as The Simpsons, which is kind of funny because FXX has made their whole brand identity The Simpsons. If you remember that Simpsons marathon that aired several years ago.
Every single episode.
Yes. Yes, I vividly remember that. But I will say this, and I'm a fan of Adult Swim. As I've gotten older, I've gotten to appreciate the Adult Swim humor, the shows, the lineups, and everything. It's kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. And this is why I mentioned it to you guys. It's kind of weird to imagine Adult Swim without Family Guy. It's very weird because Family Guy, apart from being a staple show on that, you know, block of Cartoon Network, you know, from whatever it is, I think 9 to 6 in the morning or something like that, 9 at night to 6 in the morning, depending on where you live. It's odd to imagine Family Guy not being a part of that because Adult Swim doesn't get enough credit for saving Family Guy in the first place. It's gone on long enough now, and we're old enough now, and we were young when it happened, to not remember that Adult Swim, had it not been for Cartoon Network, Family Guy would not exist. Had it not been for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, the show is one of the rare examples of being saved from cancellation because of syndication popularity.
Yeah.
You don't get that nowadays, and that's kind of a lost thing just with streaming services and a lot of shows going directly to Netflix and to HBO and stuff like that. That's why I feel like this is a bigger thing than it's being made out to be, because new episodes of Family Guy did not premiere on Adult Swim. They were syndicated very shortly after. So I wonder how it's going to impact Family Guy just not being on Adult Swim, not having that, you know, cable exposure, and solely being on FXX and Freeform and Fox, which I can't speak for Fox, but as far as the cable channels, FXX and Freeform go, not as popular as Adult Swim. Joe, what say you?
Kind of going off what Dom was saying, like the way I discovered Family Guy was through Adult Swim, and like, you know, while he was saying like, you know, not Adult Swim, but Family Guy was like the show he kind of latched onto. For me, it's South Park. I've made that always clear when we talk about South Park. But Family Guy was always like, another one too, especially until Seth MacFarlane left to go work on Ted, the first movie. I loved those seasons. I was like, man, this is like, some great adult cartoon, like, humor here and like animation. This is great. And I still hold those seasons like, pretty high and everything. I really enjoyed it. It's just sad to see, the network that not only I discovered this show on, but what actually saved it to give me new episodes of the show and even give me my allowing it to create the episodes that I loved a lot. That it's being taken away from there. It does feel like, it's like, imagine if South Park was taken away from Comedy Central and now it's going to be on TBS. Imagine if Rick and Morty, I mean, I know this will never happen, but Rick and Morty is being taken off Adult Swim and is now going to ABC at night. It's just like, it just feels weird. And it's just like, I guess, FXX, while it is like the home of The Simpsons, it's like, I don't know who the hell watches that channel most of the time.
Honestly,
is that where It's Sunny is also aired on, or is that FX?
FX.
It's just FX.
I think it's FX. That feels right to me.
Honestly, I'm like, man, what is being aired on FXX that I actually watch?
I don't know.
It's Sunny.
Syndicated action movies such as the illustrious The Rock in Walking Tall, and The Simpsons. FXX has become the Simpsons network.
Oh, wow.
Because every time I scroll through the guide on YouTube TV, it seems like The Simpsons is only airing on FXX. That's the only thing that airs on that network.
So then my question is that just going to become as Adult Swim, not only did it have Family Guy at night, but the tweet right here too, I'll show it on the screen, my bad. But the tweet here in the article brings, it shows Peter going to heaven and King of the Hill, The Cleveland Show, and Futurama are waiting for him while they're up there. Characters from those shows. And to me, it's just is that what that network's just going to become? It's just it's going to strip away what Adult Swim used to get popular and everything, and still showed to this day on its network. Cause they would show King of the Hill. It was funny. It got more raunchier as the night went on. It would be King of the Hill, Futurama, Family Guy, and then you got into the real nitty gritty of Adult Swim.